Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bearbackers. A lot of home events to talk about this week. We'll go with the schedule first. Tonight, the Nathan Brown Coaches Show, 7 p.m. at Walk-Ons and also on Buzz 2, which is 106.7. Our men's golf's playing in Colorado. Thursday, women's soccer hosts Eastern Kentucky in an ASUN action at 7 p.m. at the Bill Stevens Complex. Friday, our tennis team plays at the Sanford Fall Invitational in Birmingham. Volleyball hosts Bellarmine in ASUN action at 6 p.m. at the Print Center. Saturday, men's soccer hosts Lipscomb, 7 p.m. at the Bill Stevens Complex. Football returns to UAC play, traveling to Abilene, Texas. Take on Abilene Christian at 3 p.m. Sunday, volleyball hosts Eastern Kentucky at 1 p.m. at the Print Center in ASUN action. And women's soccer hosts Bellarmine, also 1 p.m. at the Bill Stevens Complex. So a lot of home events this weekend to get out and see. We'll start today with volleyball. Sugar Bears won their fourth match in a row Saturday down in Jacksonville, Florida. They beat North Florida 3-1. Junior setter Kaylin Coons had the second best four-set match in history with 59 assists. UCA Sports Hall of Famer Robin Smith holds that four-set record with 62, so she was real close to that record. Mackenzie Vernon and Lacey Bohannon had 20 kills each. As a team, we hit 325, and North Florida hit 199. So you're going to win a lot of matches with those numbers. We're now 2-0 in ASUN play with 4 wins in a row, as I said, overall. This week at home twice. Friday versus Bellarmine at 6, and EKU for Pink Out at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Now let's hear from head coach John Newberry.
All right, yeah, solid week. Only one game. Makes it nice and easy. Gave the girls off of Monday last week, and so they cried tears of joy knowing that they had a full day off to get back, caught up on schoolwork. We were dealing with the hurricane flying into Jacksonville, Florida. We had backup flights ready to go. We had backup hotels because our connection flight was in Denver. So we spent 2.5-hour flight to Denver and a 3.5-hour flight back down to Florida. We flew right over Little Rock. So it's like, here we are again. Texting my wife on that. I was like, I'm right above you guys. Just saw you 4 hours ago. Anyways, but yeah, so going down to Jacksonville, Florida, it's actually our very first time to be at North Florida. They have been in renovations with their arena, so I had no idea what the place was like. But beautiful facility, and a lot of palm trees, a lot of dead debris from everywhere from the winds of the hurricane. But we flew in. Once we got over Arkansas, the remnants of the hurricane was pretty bumpy up there. Got a little scary a couple times, especially on the landing. But anyways, but we forfeited a practice, woke up Saturday morning feeling energized, had to make a stop. The girls, some of them need their Red Bulls to be active. I don't know, it's a thing. And so if y'all are winning, I'm just, whatever, just handle it, do it. Anyway, so we had a phenomenal practice that morning, went back to the hotel, watched some more film, and we got on the court. The girls are ready to roll. I looked at their score sheet that they handed us at the end of a timeout, and I looked at we had 19 kills already and 4 errors. I'm like, what in the world? I had no idea. That's really, really good. So we finished that first set with 19 kills. Second set, they made a whole nother adjustment to their lineup and did pretty well on that one. Third set, they flipped everything, a whole new squad out there, and I just had no idea. We weren't entirely prepared for it. We've watched all 11 of their matches, hadn't seen it yet, but we figured it out. We were up 18-11 and somehow decided to just hand that game away to them, and we had to redo it in the fourth set. Got a little shaky, but we studied it out at the very end and won in 4. I told the announcers, the broadcasters, that when we win, as soon as we get done, we're going straight to the beach. And that's exactly what we did. It was 9 p.m. and I let them go to their hotel, just change into normal street clothes, and we went straight to the beach and stayed out on the beach, pitch black, couldn't see anything until 11 p.m. that night, and just absolutely enjoyed just everything about that. And then woke up and had a nice return flight yesterday. So it's been good. I'm excited about the performance of the girls right now. Kaylin Coons is she's from Harbor High School in Springdale. 4.0 student, wants to be an educator, early childhood educator. Phenomenal kid. I tell her every single day, please stop being nice. Please quit being, she's so nice. But she's an absolute competitor. She'll definitely be in the record books. She's still got a whole nother season left, but she'll be in the record books somewhere. I'm encouraging her to quit being nice and break records. So that's what we're going for. Lacey Bohannon continues to still be a force within the conference. I'm not sure where she sits in kills and points per set, but turning it on right now. And then I got to be honest, Reagan Harp is continually to get better and better. In that third set, I saw a swing from her. It looked like a grown woman, like just a beast out there, and absolutely just buried this ball in the ground. Even the announcers, I was right next to them, they couldn't believe it. So seeing her with 14 kills on the night was also equally very impressive. And then Mackenzie Vernon, our right side, I talked about how she hits like a dude. She's the one who can hip thrust at 730 pounds with her max. You guys have got to come out on Friday and watch these girls play. It's very, very fun right now. The chemistry is incredible, and I think that's the big part that's doing it. I'm not sure if some of you guys are familiar with Spencer Owens. Played on the championship team back in the day. So the football championship back in the 90s, 91. And he's on the defensive side. He calls himself a dog, D-A-W-G. He's just old school, but his daughter is one of our senior DS liberos. And so he texted me. He's from Memphis, and he texted me. He's like, "This is in my Memphis voice, boy," and it was just to see the parents react to their daughters just having fun and enjoying the season is the best thing. It's the best reward there could be. So, anyways, we look forward to being here with Bellarmine. Very, very good program for the volleyball community. The Midwest, where they are from, is the mecca for volleyball. It's just very, very good. Just gritty, blue-collar kids. And so them coming in here, very, very good passing team, very good defensive team. So a high-powered offensive team versus a defensive team, and they say that defense wins championships. So we're going to have to step up our game on the defensive side of things. And then the same thing with EKU on Sunday. Really need some help. I know we got some coaches in here. We really need help on Sunday if there aren't some other sports going on. Sunday is going to be also a big one. I know we got church and everything, but we can watch the online service in the morning, and then you can do it in the Print Center while you're screaming bloody murder at these kids playing on the opposite team. So just ask for you guys to show up. I'll be doing the same thing, hopefully. So anyways, thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all's support.
So you went to Denver to go to Jacksonville.
Right around the hurricane.
Makes perfect sense. Women's soccer had a nice week, starting with the 3-2 road win at Lipscomb on Thursday to stretch our win streak to 4 matches. Crazy game. We fell behind 2-0 in the first 6 minutes. Then we scored about 45 seconds later, then added another goal to tie it at half. And we got the game winner from Kelly Van Gundy in the 79th minute, so that was a nice win. Lipscomb outshot us 28-12, but our goalkeeper, Kaja Pruner, had 9 saves, and we apparently needed every one of them. So that was a nice one for them. Yesterday we tied 2-2 on the road at Austin Peay, a fairly controversial ending. I'm going to let Jeremy fill you in on that. So 4-0-1 in our last five matches and 3-0-1 in the A-Sun. Eastern Kentucky on Thursday night at home for Pink Out. Then Sunday Fun Day, that's SUNDAE, Sunday Fun Day, at 1 p.m. versus Bellarmine. I personally think every day ought to be Sunday. I'm an ice cream guy. Anyway, let's turn it over to Coach Jeremy Bishop if he can get away right there.
Good afternoon. Thanks for being here again. Appreciate you guys' support as always. It was a big week for us on the road. That was 3 in a row that we've played on the road now, and so we were calculating it on the way home between Georgia last week and Tennessee this week. We got about 2,000 miles of bus time here over the last week. So also had to deal with the hurricane a little bit with some rain and trying to adjust schedules and different things like that. But it all turned out pretty well from that standpoint. So yeah, Thursday night, Lipscomb at Lipscomb. I think it said in the story that it's been 5+ years since they've lost a conference game at home. And so we knew it was going to be a good game. We knew it was going to be a tough game. They are historically a very good program, and they were very good on Thursday night, and got a couple opportunities right out the gate, and they put them in. And kind of the same as what I talked about here last week is the character of this group. No drop, felt sorry for myself, none of that. Just got the ball, ready to play again. Actually, after the second goal, it was directly off the corner kick or off the kickoff that we get a corner kick and score the first goal to make it 2-1. Sophia, freshman that I've talked about a few times, just redirect on a corner kick, just like you draw it up. And so got ourselves back in the game right then, 2-1. And it stayed that way for a little while, but the momentum was definitely switching. We were getting more and more of the ball, getting more and more chances. And then looking at it later, it's probably one of the best goals we've ever scored. It started at our own defensive third with a throw-in, and we completed about 8 passes that went all the way out to the right side, back through the middle, off the target forward, out to our winger, who starts running at their outside back and cuts her inside, and then bends a shot into the back corner. That was Anna Kerr. She's a senior. She scored a lot of goals over the time here, but it was just a phenomenal team goal. They couldn't touch the ball, and we were just back and forth all the way around, and then finishing it. So that made it 2-2. Still not halftime yet. Second half, we came out and really took it to them. I felt like if you look through the stats, Steve mentioned they had a lot, but anytime they have a home game at Lipscomb, they seem to have a lot of shots. You go back and look at the stat or look at the game later. Anytime the ball goes anywhere near the goalkeeper, it turns out to be a shot. But anyway, so we're getting on them. We're getting our chances, doing a pretty good job defensively, and then we get a free kick. 5-10 minutes left to go in the game. And Kelly Van Gundy, who you've all heard me talk about many, many times, scored a free kick goal straight off the spot. About 20 yards out, bent it into the corner to take the lead. So it was super exciting for the team to be able to go there, get behind, come back, win the game. So feeling really good heading into Sunday. Go over to Clarksville, just up the road. They're from Nashville, and really played a very good game. Gave up a penalty kick early in the game, just unfortunate play where the ball bounced up and hit our defender in the hand, so they get a penalty kick out of it. So we get down again in that game. But really we were on them the entire time, creating lots of opportunities to score. Finally got one in. Let's see, the first goal was a corner kick, bounced around. Bree Lopez, transfer that came into to us this year from a junior college, was able to get on it and finish it, put us in the tie. And then a little bit later, I think you've talked about our Arkansas Gatorade Player of the Year last year from high school, Kayla Hurley, as a freshman this year. She scored a really nice goal, put us up 2-1, and really just kind of felt like we were getting ready to just coast out the victory. And then just had a lapse there, about 10 minutes left to go in the game, and they got a goal, evened it up 2-2, and so we're still battling, trying to get that game winner. And this is probably the controversy you're talking about. So with about a minute, 40 seconds left to go in the match, we get a corner kick, serve it into the box. There's one of their players challenging, their goalkeeper challenging, one of our players challenging. The keeper catches it and then runs into her own player. The ball falls down. We knock it in the goal. 20 seconds left to go in the game. We're up 3-2. But no, the referee decided that there was a foul on us in the play. And I really don't know what she saw to make her think that that was a foul on us. So took the goal off the board. 20 seconds left. Game's over. We tie 2-2. In real time, looking at it, I could see that it was their player that had run into their keeper. I could see that the referee had the same line that I had, and so it was really puzzling to not be able to get that goal. you battle, you fight, you go out there and you want to go out there and do your best, and I felt like we did that. And then to not get the reward for it was disappointing. But that's the way it goes. And and sometimes you feel like, okay, that could go either way. You're gonna have to live with it. This was not that situation, but you still have to live with it. And so we just turned the page. Obviously, a lot of soccer left to play. We got a 4-match home streak or a home stand ahead of us. So 2 at home this weekend, Thursday, Sunday, and then 2 again the next weekend, Thursday, Sunday. So looking forward to just staying on top of the table, continuing to compete, continuing to keep the game in front of us so that we can do a good job on the defensive side. We got to do a better job of that, especially early in the game. We did make some changes going into the Austin Peay game with our lineup to give us what we thought would maybe make us a little bit more be able to get a hold of the ball a little bit more early on in the game, and that really helped. So we'll just continue to build on that. But just can't say enough about the character of this group to be able to continue to fight back when things are hard, and to be able to keep winning for the most part. So I guess now, Coach Brown, we both have an asterisk game. Those are a lot of fun. But yeah, that's how it ended up this weekend, and looking forward to, like I said, 4 in a row at home. Actually, the last 4 in a row at home, or the last 4 at home this season. So we go on the road for the last 3. So get out and see these girls play. They really compete. So we'll look forward to seeing you out at Stevens. Questions about anything? All right, go Bears.
You handled that very well, Jeremy. Dancing around the issue. I decided to let Frank eat his lunch today slowly instead of having to do like he normally does, so I didn't make him go first. Our men's soccer team's now 1-1 in ASUN play after a 1-0 loss at Queens in Charlotte on Saturday. Queens outshot us 19-11. I don't know how their stat keeping is, but might have been similar. But we only allowed 1 goal out of those 19 shots, so it's pretty good. Huge game at 7 p.m. Saturday night at Bill Stevens Complex against the 3-time defending ASUN champion, Lipscomb. They've dominated the league recently. They've won 8 straight against us. I'd say it's about time to end that streak. Do it at home would be even better. I hope to see a lot of fans out there Saturday night on Student Appreciation Night, 7 p.m. Saturday night. Now let's hear from head coach Frank Kohlenstein.
Thank you. And I guess, everybody should be a little bit angry with me and the men's soccer team because we kind of spoiled another perfect weekend because, it could have been everybody sweeping again. But, it was another hurricane story for us also is that, we got there, I think, 7 hours later than what we were supposed to, and then we didn't forfeit our practice time, which maybe we should have done. Learning from the other coaches is important. So we trained at 8 o'clock the night before at Queens, but that's the only practice time they gave us anyway, so that's interesting. And we went into the match. We allowed a goal in the first 10 minutes. And Queens deserves credit. They played very well. I was telling Coach Harlan that now we're part of their biggest win in their Division I history so far. It's always a nice situation to be in. But after we allowed the goal, I turned to my assistants because, Jeremy's telling stories all the time about Coach Nichols making the right adjustments. So I turned to them and said, how are we going to get 3 goals? And they had ideas about how we could get 3, but they didn't have any about how we could get 1 to tie it. So we needed to get the 1 first before we get the 3. And then at halftime, we still hadn't scored. So I called Coach Nichols. And he must have not been watching because he didn't respond. Or he thought there was no hope for us. I watched Jeremy's game on Sunday, and they were ripped off. I'm watching this, and then they go back slow-mo, which is, and none of our women even touched the goalkeeper, and they put it in. So you've been able maybe to move on. You can find out from Coach Brown about moving on, because he's done a good job of moving on from it. Hopefully, I'll be able to move on from all the great calls we get from time to time. But it is really exciting on Saturday, and to have Lipscomb come here. We've been in the conference for 4 years, and this is only the second time that they'll have had to come to Conway. So we're hoping to welcome them with open arms and send them back with that L as a gift as they go home. So we're going to work on trying to do that, and hope all of you will come out, because we believe we have a really good team this season. The guys are working hard, and we hope we'll have them ready. And I'll try and make sure I listen to my assistants a little bit better. But thanks a lot, and look forward to seeing you at a match on Saturday. Thank you.
Football Bears had their first top 20 match, put up 453 yards of offense, including 295 on the ground, 34-14 victory over Lamar, top 25 Lamar. A couple of numbers from that. Shunderick Powell, again, ran for 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. Darius Hale added 96 yards. Will McIlvain was 15 of 22 passing for 158. David Walker did what David Walker does, 2 more tackles for loss and another sack. Tamarian Wilson had another interception, his second in the past 2 weeks. Overall, just a pretty dominating win. Now we hit the road for another top 20 matchup at Abilene Christian at 3 p.m. Saturday. The Wildcats are 3-2 overall. They're 2-0 in the UAC. They beat West Georgia and Utah Tech so far in conference. Other than that, they've had a pretty tough non-conference schedule. They barely lost to Texas Tech in their season opener, 52-51 in overtime. They lost 27-24 to then number 5 Idaho, and they beat Northern Colorado. So a pretty tough schedule. Last year's meeting here on the Stripes was all UCA. Bears had 594 yards of offense, 380 rushing. Shunderick Powell had 256 yards rushing, which is the second best effort in history. UCA won 52-17. Our defense held ACU to 232 yards of offense. So yes, Shunderick had more offense than Abilene Christian had total. Probably not going to be that easy this year. ACU's number 1 in total offense in the UAC, just ahead of the Bears. They have the second best scoring offense in the league, just behind the Bears. They have the top passing offense in the league, 321 yards a game. So they very, very good offensive team. Could be a lot of yards put up on Saturday. Chase alerted me of something this morning. There's a D3 school there in Abilene also, Hardin-Simmons. And they host another top 25 matchup. They're in the top 25, and they host Endicott at 1 o'clock that day. We're at 3 o'clock, and I looked up the stadiums a while ago, exactly 2 miles apart. So 2 top 25 matchups within 2 miles of each other in Abilene Christian. And I had to look up Endicott, by the way. They're coming from Massachusetts to Abilene. I guess we're going to the right place, right? Yeah, Abilene. That's a heck of a trip. The new polls came out this morning. We moved up to number 5 in one poll, stayed number 7 in the other. Abilene Christian is 16th and 17th in the 2 polls this week, so it should be a heck of a battle. Game time's 3 p.m. on the Bear 91.3, Point 94.1, and ESPN Plus. Now let's hear from Coach Nathan Brown.
Hey, nice to be here. Once again, it's always fun to come up here after a win. Proud of our guys, proud of the role we're on. One of the challenges we talk about every week is not losing the feeling, right? You get the feeling of winning. That's a pretty good feeling. Now, as a coach, and I'm sure these coaches that are in here could probably attest to this, the feeling of winning is not near as bad as the feeling of losing, right? Losing sticks with you. And so we're in a good state of mind. We're in a good spot as far as our guys and their attitudes, and they can feel that we have a chance to continue to be a pretty good football team. But once again, the challenge is getting better every single week. Obviously, this week was the biggest game to date as far as Division I FCS football games go for us in the season to this point. I thought our guys handled the situation about as well as they possibly could. I want to give a quick shout out. Unbelievable atmosphere, crowd, family day, band day. I text Derek, our band director, and told him I thought that was as good as they've done in a long time. I mean, when you got them blaring their horns and playing the music and all that stuff, I mean that's intimidating. And then you look, and there's probably another 1,000 people on Bruce Street, and the stands are full. That's what it's supposed to look like. And I hope what people are realizing is that not just football, but all of our programs, we put a pretty solid product on the field. And hopefully not just the community of Conway, but the Central Arkansas community really buys into that. To me, I always say this, it's the best bang for your buck in Division I athletics, especially in this state. You're talking about the tradition and winning programs and all that, best bang for your buck, and I want to continue to encourage people in that. That's a home field advantage. And so just wanted to get a quick, make sure I mentioned that, because that to me is an important piece to the success that we're having. But going back to the game, we knew Lamar was going to be a challenge. We knew they were going to be a team that wanted to establish the run. I talked about that last week. Obviously, like Steve said, the team we play this week will be opposite of that. A team that wants to establish the pass, has had a lot of success in the past, but I thought we did a great job defensively the other night. We held them to 3.3 yards a rush. I mean, anytime you do that against a team that really wants to turn and hand the ball off, wants to assert their physicality, wants to play in the trenches, and you basically control the line of scrimmage, you're going to win most of those games. And that's what I was pleased about. We won on third down. Right now we're top in the league as far as converting third downs on offense, and we're top in the league as far as stopping third downs on defense. You continue to do that, you're going to have a lot of success. And a lot of that I talk about all the time. Third down conversions is a direct correlation of first down wins on offense and defense. So we're doing a fine job of that right now. Again, a lot of great individual efforts. To me, and again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record when I say this. When I look at the offense, I love what Shunderick Powell and what Darius Hale are doing. But you're not going to hear me not talk about our offensive line, tight ends, and the way our wide receivers are blocking. You can't look, Shunderick and Darius can make something out of nothing. They can make a mess look like flowers sometimes. But if you watch the film and you see what our offensive front is doing right now, there's a reason why they are having the success they're having. And we've got to continue to that. It's another week also where we kept Will off his backside. We got no sacks. That's 3 weeks in a row where we've given up no sacks as well. So if we can continue to protect the quarterback, keep Will clean, and obviously open holes and give the ball to those two running backs, we're going to have some success. And then, what's sustained success to me in Division I FCS football? It's winning the rushing attack and holding their rushing attack at bay. And that's what we've done a great job of. Because there's nothing that kills a game more than controlling the clock. And here's where I'll leave Saturday after I mention this. I thought what separated the game on Saturday, and the game was out of hand. All right, I say out of hand. It was late in the game, and we were in a situation where we probably weren't going to give up that lead. Well, we throw a flat route to Ben Hallmark, who's going to be a great young player. Again, I love that kid. He's going to be fine. He ended up fumbling the ball on a flat route. We get the guy down inside the 10-yard line. Our defense has to run back out there. We're up 3 scores. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in my head, all right, is our defense just going to tuck their tail between their leg and just basically quit and just say, hey, we're up 3 scores. We're not going to do what we need to do. And what our defense did is they went 4 straight plays and kept them out of the end zone. And that's unreal. Like 4 straight plays, and not just 4 straight plays. They had 2 tackles for loss in that series as well. And so what could have easily been done is them just go out there, get mad at the offense, get mad at the situation, put their daubers in the dirt and not do what they were supposed to do. Well, they went out there and did what they were supposed to do. They made the negative play a right by stopping them on 4 downs. All right, now let's flip the page. Offense gets the ball on the 11-yard line. We got about 7 minutes left. I don't want to give the ball back to them. They know we're running the football. And what did our offense do? They kept it the whole time and got in the victory formation. They knew we were running the ball, and we ran the ball. And so great teams, you've got to be able to, I said it to Steve-O at halftime. I know you remember this. I said, we're going to have to run the ball when they know we're going to run the ball. And if you can do that, then you've got a chance to be a pretty good team. And then on defense, you got to stop them in those moments when you're backed up. And so that to me was a moment where the game was probably done, right? We probably were going to win the game, but that moment meant more to me as a coach on the way we reacted and responded to that situation than maybe anything throughout the whole night. Obviously, great individual efforts by Shunderick, by Darius. Will was efficient again. On his interception, I don't know if you guys noticed this, the interception, the guy he was throwing to got decleated by the umpire. And that's frustrating because he was going to hit him in stride. And Cam Robinson was running a cross route and just ran smack dab into the umpire. And the umpire's a big dude. And literally flat back Cameron Robinson. And so Will's anticipating the throw like quarterback should, and he ends up hitting the safety right in the chest. And it's just a freak deal, and I hate that because we're doing such a good job of protecting the ball right now on offense and then creating some turnovers on defense. But that was the unfortunate play of the night. But Will's played efficiently. He played efficiently the other night. I thought defensively, obviously, like Steve mentioned, David Walker had 7 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack. T-Bird had a pick. He had about another 5 or 6 tackles as well. I think right now, Jay Spanesh at linebacker is playing as good as anybody in our conference. Number 44 from Hoxie, Arkansas. I think he is playing all conference caliber linebacker for us in the middle, and that's a big deal because we lost a guy or two at that position to certain situations. So him stepping in and playing that way is huge for us in the middle. And then I was proud of Jake Gaster. I mean, made every extra point, knocked 2 field goals in, was good for our special teams unit. Had a punt block, got to get that cleaned up. Just a missed assignment by one of our shield guys. He blocked on the inside, should have been stepping out. Guy came tight off of his hip. I don't even know that they were really sending an actual block call on that, but the guy just kind of was opportunistic and stuck his hand out and got the block. We'll get that corrected. Positive thing is, and obviously, knock on wood when I say this, we've only had to send Trace Beard out there 3 times in the last 3 games. So, I mean, if you can continue to do that, less punt you have to do, the better off you're going to be. Obviously, late in the game, we had our second punt. Will punted it down to the 1-yard line. I think a 64-yard punt on a quick kick, which that's a weapon that we have in our back pocket if we need to use it. Shifting the page to Abilene Christian, good program. Have a ton of respect for Coach Patterson. Maybe one of my favorite guys in the UAC as far as head coaches go. Unbelievable person. I think he does a great job coaching his team up. You're talking about a team that is in a spot to promote and encourage transfers. I think I mentioned this last year. A lot of them are back from last year, but they've added some. I mean, they're sitting around the 45 to 50 player mark as far as FBS transfers goes. So a lot of bounce back guys. They're going to look the part. They're long. They're a physical team. They look like they'll be one of the best looking UAC teams in our conference as far as on the hoof. So again, having a successful season at this point, 3-2, obviously 16th or 17th, depending on what poll you're looking at. What a great opportunity for us, 2 weeks in a row to play a top 20 matchup. What's different in this one than last week? Well, this is an opportunity to prove it on the road, right? We did it at home. Now this team has to go prove it on the road. Now, 4th game out of 6 weeks on the road. We're a pretty good road team. We've had some success. You know, we've worn that white. This Saturday. We're wearing that white jersey for the 4th time this year. It'll counterbalance here toward the middle and back half, which will be great. Get a few more home games, but this is a big one for us because of the magnitude of the opponent, the success they're having right now, but also just an opportunity again, like I said, play a top 15 caliber team on the road and have a chance to compete with those guys. Longest trip to date for us, so that's always something to factor in. We're leaving early Friday morning. We took the trip up to St. Louis to play Lindenwood earlier in the year. This is a little bit further than that. So a lot of familiarity with this program. Have had a lot of games with these guys over the years, and we're excited about the opportunity. Some things that we've got to work on. Again, I said it last week, and my challenge to our team is continue to improve off a 20-point win, right? Don't be satisfied and okay. Like it's easy to sit there and go, oh, let's relax and let's get complacent. Let's not be consistent. Let's not pursue to be great, because I think we've got a good football team. We're not great. We're not even close. We got so much little things we've got to work on. We're in the ballpark too much. even our best players are in the ballpark too much. If we'll just be more precise and more detailed, this team's potential is out of this roof. But we're not near where our potential needs to be. And I think that's the challenge we have with these guys. I think that they're hungry for that. They go to work, and they want to get better. They improve at practice every single day. And I told them, look, everybody other than that's just sitting in this room, and when I say this room, I was talking to them in a team meeting, and hopefully you guys think this way too. So I'm kind of lumping you all in on this. Anybody that's not in this stadium or around this program is looking at the national polls. They're looking at what you've done, and they're just saying, just wait. UCA's going to lose. They're going to stub their toe. That's what they're saying. You want to know why? Because we don't have North Dakota State across our chest. We don't have South Dakota State across our chest. We've got to prove our worth. And so that's the challenge with our guys in the scenario we're in. What we've done in September has got us to this point. Every bit of it's earned. Like, there isn't nothing given to our guys. But people are waiting for you to stub your toes. Let's make them wrong. Right? Let's not prove them right. Let's make them wrong. And so that's the challenge we have. That's the mentality we're having down in our coaches' offices every single day, getting a game plan together, and then obviously leading up to hopefully a great week of practice and preparation for the Abilene Christian. With that being said, I'd love to take any questions if there's any. Yes, ma'am.
Where I was sitting, I couldn't hear the PA system very well, but was there an announcement about Will McElvain?
Yeah, so I should have mentioned that. So Will McElvain joined a pretty cool fraternity. I welcomed him to the club, not to pat myself on the back, but and he's going to shatter me when this thing's all said and done. But Will McElvain has went over 10,000 yards for his career in passing. That's an unbelievable feat. One, it shows longevity, shows consistency, staying healthy, right? Obviously, he's done that between two universities at Northern Iowa, where he started out, and then obviously the last 2+ years here. Couldn't happen to a better kid. I mean, he just works hard. He's a kid that everybody probably didn't want to bet on. He's about 5'10", has a low throwing motion, has a cannon for an arm, but was an under-recruited kid out of high school, went and walked on at Northern Iowa, earned a scholarship there, and obviously entered the transfer portal with a coaching change there, and we were fortunate enough to have him. Man, what a cool feat for him to have, though. Over 10,000 yards, well on his way to probably getting over 11,000 plus yards in his career. Man, that's big time. I'm glad you mentioned that. I should have thought of that. But yeah, congratulations to Will McElvain for sure.
I told him after the game the other night, we made sure he was well over it before we made
Yeah.
the announcement. 'Cause
That makes sense.
We've announced a 1,000-yard rusher before, and then he gets some minus. Well, guys at 990.
Let's hope we don't get too many negative pass plays.
Yeah.
No, but that's awesome. Bobby?
Do you think we're the only college football program with 3 athletes from Hoxie, Arkansas?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, and I'll tell you, no knock, Josh.
The last stud from there.
No knock, Josh Goff. Yeah, Hoxie's been good to us. I mean, you're talking about some really good players, and Coach Sears there has done a great job with that program, and most people don't even know where Hoxie is on the map. But they know who Shunderick Powell is, I can promise you that. Yes, ma'am.
Just on a personal level, my daughter and her husband came to the ball game Saturday. He's been lots of ways that game. He's never been to UCA. He said, why have we not been doing this? Had a ball.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I'll leave it at this, and I'll say it again. Like, Saturday's atmosphere was homecoming-like. I mean, like, our homecoming atmospheres are always as good as it gets. Just so impressed. One of the better atmospheres I've seen here in a long time. Just fans were here, fans stayed. I think Family Day had a lot to do with that. A lot of kids, a lot of obviously the band day is a big deal. But you're right. I mean, bang for your buck, product on the field, get in and out. I tell people this all the time. Like, why go? You ain't gonna fight a ton of traffic here. You're gonna get in. You can be home in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? After the game. So I just think I agree. Conway, Arkansas, UCA on Saturday nights on the Stripes is pretty special, and I definitely want to continue to give my appreciation to everybody that comes out and supports us for sure.
What was the deal at the end of the half? What was your take on that?
Yeah, I was a little frustrated there. I don't know if you guys remember, but they were trying to keep us on the field. So we kicked a field goal with 5 seconds left, and technically, as short as the field goal was, it probably should have only been a 4-second runoff. But the clock continued to run. Their clock operator, which I guess they've got an official guy, buzzed down to the white hat, the referee, and basically they're already in. I mean, they're gone into the locker room, and we're kind of halfway in, and I find the side judge kind of grabbed me and said, "Hey, we got to get 1 second off." And I'm like, "What? You got to be kidding me. I mean, we're going to go play 1 second. We're just going to squib kick it, and take that second off." But anyways, long story short, I think that they got clearance from there. And I didn't realize this. This is an interesting deal, and probably because you don't see it very often. So we were at UAPB last week, and they've got the basketball clock there, so that where it shows the tenths as well, as well as the seconds. So you see what I'm saying? And they said they don't go by any. If it's 3.222 seconds, it's 3 seconds. You got me? So they, like in football, you don't go off the tenths of the clock. Didn't realize that till last week. The SWAC officiating crew let me know that's not normal. Don't pay attention to the extra tenths. So let's just say that the kick was made with 0.05 seconds left, under a second. That's it. It's basically the clock is done. So that was an interesting deal from last week. But yeah, that's kind of the explanation. They just had to get that second off. Of course, I gave my clearance. I'm like, I'm good. And I wanted to look over at their coach, and he obviously was good because they were already in the inside. All right, thank you guys.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, I wanted to share a couple updates just related to athletic department staffing. I know that many in this room have heard or have spoken to Daryl and know that he announced his retirement earlier this month, and today is his last day. And I saw Daryl slip out. I know he probably wouldn't want to be the center of attention at this time, but definitely wanted to be able to say, we're all extremely grateful for Daryl's friendship and 39 years of service to UCA. He's going to be missed, no doubt about it, but we're also excited for him with this next chapter. So, Erod, I think it's appropriate to give Daryl a round of applause. All right. I also wanted to call out a couple birthdays that we have in the room today. Mr. Bo Connor. Yep. And Steve-O, birthday today. I hope I didn't miss anybody, so if I did, please forgive me and just go ahead and tell me if I did. Coach Brown mentioned it. Yes, great crowd on Saturday at the game. What a crowd. I mean, great atmosphere, a lot of fun. Wanted to address a couple things. I was asked a question when I came in today. We announced a flyover for that game. Just to clear the air on that, Friday's weather prevented the Aviation Academy from practicing the flyover. So they ultimately called it off. But we're looking at a couple other dates, and I think we have a few other things planned later in the season. So we'll have a chance to bring that back. And then, did anybody see anything with the video board? Yeah. Nope. Yeah, it looked like Tetris on the board, didn't it? Yeah. So let me tell you the story behind that. So, video board's working great all day long, right? It's rolling. We're rolling. We're looking forward to it. Kristen's up in the room. Different things going on the board. We've got everything set and everything's going great. Well, about 80 minutes prior to kickoff, Tetris shows up on the board. Okay?
I was just playing around. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm bad at Tetris, that's all.
Kristen was up there pressing buttons and pressing the wrong one, apparently. No, I'm kidding. So that shows up on the board, and we get on the phone with Daktronics immediately. And ultimately we did a restart on the system, a hard restart on the system, which we've been instructed to do several times. We pulled that back up and had difficulty pulling the board up altogether. You may have seen a green screen there. That was within an hour prior to kick. So on the phone with Daktronics, we get the board back up, and however, we still have Tetris on the board. So we have our campus electricians get up behind the board and start looking at things. And one of the things that Daktronics had told us on Saturday while we were reviewing the situation was that similar to your home, there's a fuse box on the back of that board. Okay, so we go up there, we're checking the fuse boxes. Everything is fine, nothing is tripped. I was not up there, so I don't know exactly what it looked like, but I just was thinking in my mind, when you have a fuse, a trip in the breaker at your house, I was like, all right, well, that's what it's going to look like. We're going to flip that thing back on, and here we go. Well, nothing was tripped. Okay, So we did determine that there was poor signal to that quad of mods, what they're called on that video board, and several fans that were broken. So we have been in contact with Daktronics. We submitted a case yesterday, and we're waiting on them to get out here to address that with us. They know that we have another home game on October the 12th, so we're on top of it, but just wanted to give you an explanation of what was happening there. Coach Brown, you laughing back there? Hey, you know the greatest thing? So if you think last year, our score, the score bug, 2 years ago, sorry, Kristen, keep me in line. I appreciate that. So 2 years ago, our score bug, where you would see the score, the time, all that, was in that section of where the board was. So we moved that over to the right side this year, and I'm glad we made that change, Kristen, Chase, everybody that was involved with that. Thank you. That was very helpful on Saturday. But anyway, we're getting that addressed, so we hope to have that rectified before the October 12th game, but wanted you to have an idea. Hey, we got some home events. Hope to see you out there this week. Looking forward to that. Soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, excited about it, and a top 25 matchup on the road in Abilene. So a great week ahead. Appreciate everyone being here. Go Bears. Go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.